साइंस कॉमर्स पिला माने हमर जो इंग्लिश रो आसीबो पिले इंग्लिश रो जो प्रश्न आसीबो 2 नंबर या प्रश्न जो पड़िबो इंग्लिश रे हमको पैसेज दबो नाही एटा मन रखो हमको एमसीक्यू सेना 38 टा पड़िबो किंतु जो 2 मार्क के प्रश्न प्रोज पोएम आ नॉन डिटेल आसीबो तार पैसेज दबो नाही आगे कोन करतला पैसेज दउतला से पैसेज रो पिला माने देखि की करूथले बट एथर आउ पैसेज दबो नाही तो आमे इंग्लिश रो सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन को नै आसीचे एवं इंग्लिश रो ही प्रश्न तुमे परीक्षा रे निश्चिंत पाइबो इंग्लिश रो 2 नंबर या रो सिलेक्शन प्रश्न आउ प्रश्न जति के आनीची सब गुडा को तारी भितर ही आसीबो आ बाहरु आसीबो नाही जति की तुमको कोआला तार भितर आसीबो ओके हमर तो माय ग्रेटेस्ट ओलंपिक राइज पड़िबोनी ओके डैफोडिल्स पड़िबोनी ता परे भी हमें सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन दबा निश्चिंत आसीबो इंग्रजी रो 2 मार्क सिलेक्शन डज द राइटर लाइक एग्जामिनेशन क्योर द लाइन इन सपोर्ट ऑफ योर आंसर ओके मु आज केवल प्रश्न कहि देबी देन बुझाबो उत्तर नेक्स्ट क्लास मेंशन द सब्जेक्ट दैट आर डियरेस्ट टू द एग्जामिनर व्हिच सब्जेक्ट डिड द राइटर लाइक द मोस्ट What reason does the writer give for his not doing well in the examination? English selection, arts, science, commerce, so pila mane. What did the writer write? What did the writer write in the answer book for the Latin paper? What was the sad spectacle for him? What was the writer's position in the merit list for admission? Whom does he give the credit of his success in the entrance examination? How did he become the last boy in the class? Paravarti dekho. What is the custom of calling roll at a harrow? What is the custom of calling the roll at a ton? Then prashna, why he is last? Why he is last of all? Why did people say so? What kind of students we are taught Latin, Greek and harrow? English ro selection prashna. Which pile mane kondala okay which student were taught only English? How does the writer rate English as a subject and Mr. Somerville as a teacher? sigala kono What part of the English grammar did he learn from Mr. Somerville? How did he score over the clever school fellow in after years? English selection prashna pile. How did the boys enjoy their time at the swimming bath? What kind of pranks did they enjoy at the bath? What did the writer do the boy standing in a meditative position? What was the reaction of the boy? What did the writer learn about Emery from the crowd of younger boys? How did the writer fare at school? How did he win a prize at school? Why does he call his success an in plane? Then why was it hard for the author to believe that his grandmother was once young and pretty? How did the grandmother appear in his portrait pile? Selection no question answer MIL selection question dei sari pile mane. What sort of a person did he look? हमर इंग्लिश रो एमसीक्यू पढिबो ता सहित 2 मार्क ही पढिबो इनिजी पोर्ट्रेट पैसेज दबनी मन रखिबो हाउ डज द ऑथर पोर्ट्रेट हिज ग्रैंडमदर व्हाई डज ही से द थॉट वाज ऑलमोस्ट रिवोल्टिंग व्हाट ग्रैंडमदर रूटीन इन द विलेज व्हाट लेसन डिड द राइटर लर्न फ्रॉम द विलेज प्रीस्ट हाउ डिड द ग्रैंडमदर स्पेंड हर टाइम एट द टेंपल was she a religious person? How? What was the happiest time of the day for her? How did the grandmother see the author of at the railway station? How did she pass away? How did sparrows react when the author's grandmother died? What does a good work ethic imply? If this were happening in India, the magic of teamwork, Vishwara. If this were happening in India, what does the author mean by this? Then, who is a good team player? What are the qualities of a good team player? How do diversifying tax help workers? Why is it difficult to build teams in India? How can working with diversity happen? Then Prashna, what is the poliomyelitis? Pilavane developed polio vaccine. What did Roosevelt find out he had a polio? What are the earliest symptoms of polio attack? Which things are the carriage of polio virus? Aku बुझेबी एवं आंसर देबी सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन पर हला. Did polio affect Roosevelt political career? Who are the most vulnerable to polio? How did he spearhead the fight against polio? Then asigala pile poem vibhaga. Why was Father Gilligan worried? Was he only tried physically or also exploited mentally? Justify your answer with the example from the poem. Why did he seek forgiveness for the God? How was the night described? Peaceful or quiet? Empty no podi pare question podi. How was the night described? Empty podi pare. Why has the night been described so? Why has the night been described so? Why did the sick man's wife say, Father, you come in? Who come to the sick man's before his death? Why? What are his words of gratitude to God? Does the little suggest what the poem is about? Title, sorry. What does the title suggest? Slam of life later. What does the poet say about life in the first stanza? What does the poet mean by life in real, life in earnest? What is the poet's observation on soul? Cure the line which means death is not the goal of life. A question guarantee asibo. What does the poet say about the goal of life in stanza 3? What is the poet's observation on art? Why does the poet prefer the present to past and future? What do the life of a great man remind us? How do the example of great man help a person in distress? How can we make our life sublime? What is the tone of the poem, inspiring or despairing? What important thing does the poet say about children at the television? How do children spend their time with the television? How do children behave while watching television? How does TV become a harmful addiction for children? Why do parents let their children watch TV? Do you think TV does the role of a babysitter justify? What are the undesirable consequences of watching the television? What comparison does he make to prove his point? He cannot think, he only see. What does he refers to? Are all the people of the world mad for money? Which line implies this? Are all the people equally made for money or degree of madness from various person to person? How does a person feel when he part with a pound of money? How does a person feel when he hands out a 10-pound note? What kind of feeling does money create in us? Are we really afraid of money or moneyed man? Then, Prashna, what do people say about a man's worth? How many times is it dirty repeated in the poem? What does the poet mean by dirty? How do money mad men treat men without money? What does the poet say? We must have some money. What does? Do you think bread, shelter and fire should be free? Explain why you think so. तो इंग्राजी रो सिलेक्शन नो प्रश्न पिला माने इंग्लिश रो सिलेक्शन प्रश्न प्लस टू सेकेंड ईयर पिलांकर तो 2 नंबरिया प्रश्न जो आसीबार अछि प्लस टू सेकेंड ईयर पिलांकर इंग्लिश रो तो पिला माने यही प्रश्न ही बोर्ड एग्जाम रे आसीबो हां पिले तुमको 100% आप तुमको कहली जदी पढिबार अछि पढ एमती न जे पढिबा को आसीनो दि चारटा क्वेश्चन देखि पढेबो सर मोर हेलानी जदी 95% कार आनिबार अछि तो ए क्वेश्चन पढिबो जदी पास करिया चाहौ छ 20% क्वेश्चन पढ डायरेक्ट कथा मोर एटा हला जदी 95 98 99 प्रश्न पढिया चाहौ छ तो देन ए क्वेश्चन गुडा को पढ जदी नाही तो तुम पास करिया चाहौ छ देन खाली ऑनलाइन क्लासेस कर किछि सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन ऊपर माइंड पुराओनी जहा आसुची पढ जदी 95 98 रखिया चाहौ छ देन ए क्वेश्चन को पढ आ बुझेइबा पीडीएफ जगन्नाथ पीडीएफ पॉसिबल नुहे काने सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन रो मु आंसर देई देबी ओके ट्राई करबे देखो पीडीएफ देई देबी काली किछ टेंशन नहीं मोर भी संदे पीडीएफ देला किछ प्रॉब्लम नाही पर देई देबी ओके आपर जिबा पॉलिटिकल साइंस रो सिलेक्शन 2 मार्क या 3 मार्क के आलोचना हो समस्त जॉइन हो